Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Dennis Brown. I'm your host for the Freight Broker Bootcamp Live weekly training. Today, I'm going to be going over the key to earning six figures as a freight broker freight agent. For those of you that are catching this on replay, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you type in the chat box, #replay. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I'd love to hear from my replay folks. So today's agenda, just to give you guys a sense. First, we're going to do a quick training. I'm going to talk about the key. I'm going to share that with you. Then we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away another Freightpreneur shirt, right? All right. So someone that solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. That's the Freightpreneur shirt. I'm going to do that giveaway. So stick around for that. And then at the end, I'm going to do Q&A like always. I'll do some Q&A. I'll stick around as long as I can. And I have a big announcement. Now, some of you might know what I'm going to say, but you may or may not. So pay close attention. So again, for those of you that are catching this on replay, hit me up in the comments with #replay. For those of you that are live, thank you so much. I know your time is precious. I truly appreciate you being here. Number one, hit the chat box and let me know the city and state that you're logging in from. I'm in the Buffalo, New York area. If you're from Buffalo, give me a shout out. If you're from anywhere else, let me know the city and state where you're logging in from, and maybe I'll be able to give you a shout out. Okay, so do that. Let's see who's here today. We usually have people from all over the country, even Canada, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, sometimes all over the country. So welcome, Jeff Bjork from Arizona. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. Let's see. What do we got? Cindy Kane, as always, from Houston, Texas. Welcome, Cindy. All right, here they're pouring in now. You Curl from Atlanta, Georgia, welcome. Bobby Jones from Greensboro, North Carolina, welcome. Heather Evans from Lost Creek, West Virginia, welcome. Austin Embry from Phoenix, Arizona. Miss Bailey from Cleveland, Ohio, welcome. That's not far from Buffalo. Igor, welcome from Chicago. Queen Covington from Anderson, South Carolina, welcome. Carrie from St. John, New Brunswick. There you go. We got another country here. Okay, we got Canada in the house, I believe, New Brunswick, right? Scrolling. Okay, we got Marquetta Ross from Tennessee, welcome. Jay Ward from Dallas, Texas, as always, thank you for joining us, Jay. Rissel from Wilson, North Carolina. Raymond from Pasadena, California. Jeez, they're flying in here, holy cow. Amanda from Abilene, Texas. Felipa Cespedes from Minneapolis. Veronica from Brownsville, Texas. Juan from Maryland. Vic from Washington, D.C. Immortal Ms. from New Jersey. Michelle from Chester, Virginia. Joanna Joan, maybe it's Joan, or Joanne Johnson from Laramie, Wyoming. Raider Alex from Honduras. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome, Arturo from Tijuana. Welcome, Millie from Elk Grove, California. Kelby from Kennesaw, Georgia. Listen, we got people from all over the place joining us. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're catching this on replay or live, I truly appreciate your time. I know time is the most valuable commodity. So I don't want to waste your time. So let's dive in. But before, who wants one of these shirts? I'm going to give away one of these shirts, the Freightpreneur shirt. It says, someone that solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. If you want to be entered to win this shirt, I'm going to be giving away one shirt live today, right? So you got to be live in order to get it. Here's all you got to do in order to qualify for the giveaway. Simply like this stream right now. You got to hit the like button. I don't care if you're on YouTube or on Facebook or where you are. Make sure you like it. That's number one. Number two, share the stream. Share it. I don't care if you share it on Facebook. I don't care if you share it on Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever you want to share it. Pinterest. Share it wherever you want, but you got to hit the share button and you got to share it. Then come back into the feed and in the comments below, hit #shared. That's going to tell me and let me know that you actually shared the stream. Now, there's an honor system here, but don't get caught lying because I'll make a fool of you on live, on a Freight Broker Bootcamp Live now or in the future, okay? So just keep that in mind. Be honest, share the stream, and so like this stream, share the stream, and that's going to qualify you for the giveaway. I'm going to be giving away one shirt to one lucky winner. I'll mail it out here in the next week or so. You'll get it. And then who knows, if you take a picture of the shirt, maybe I'll feature it on the website with you in the shirt. I'll feature it on the website. But these shirts have been very popular and I do like to give them away. So do that now. If you guys want to be entered in the drawing to win this shirt right here, the Freightpreneur shirt, make sure you first like and then share. And you actually have to share the stream. Now, I'm not going to go in right now and check it because I don't have time to do that, okay? But it's an honor system, so share the stream. If you don't have a social following or you're having a hard time sharing it there, get the link, just click share, copy the link, and send it to 3 people via email. Or worse yet, tag 3 people in the comments below, and that will let them know about it, right? Let a few of your friends know about this Freight Broker Bootcamp Live, okay? So there we are, guys. That's what you got to do in order to enter the drawing. Now, I'm going to do the training. I'm going to talk about the key to earning 6 figures as a freight broker, freight agent, and then I'm going to do the giveaway. So you got to be live, okay? I'm going to do the giveaway right after the training, and then I'm going to do live Q&A if you want to stick around to the end for that, all right? Okay, cool. So I got lots of notes. As usual, I did my homework, and I put down my thoughts on paper because it's just easier for me to guide you through this process and not get confused and off on a tangent, because me, just like you, like everybody, we all have ADD, right? So I want to keep my thoughts organized, and this is the way I do it. And today is a really important topic. And the title is The Key to Earning 6 Figures as a Freight Broker. So now my goal here is to deliver something that I know is extremely actionable. So you need to pay close attention, take some notes, all right? So most people start out with if they want to achieve a goal like that, is by setting the goal, right? A lot of people that are listening to this right now want to earn 6 or maybe even 7 figures as a freight broker. So they set that goal. The problem is having a goal is great, but that's where most people stop, because a goal without a plan or a system is just a dream, right? So that's the biggest issue. People stop at setting the goal and they never follow through to the most important part. And the most important part goes way beyond that. So let's say your goal is to earn 6 figures as a freight broker, like we talked about today, all right? Now you can wish that goal. You can think about that goal. You can repeat that goal in your mind every day for the next 20 years. But guess what? You're still going to be broke, right? Just having a goal is just the first step. There are a lot of things you need to do beyond that, but a lot of people get caught up. They set the goal and they think that by repeating it in their mind or seeing it on paper every day, or just, having that goal, that somehow it's going to come to fruition. And I promise you, it's not, right? You need to take action. You need to have a plan. You need to have a system, all right? So the key to success, as I said to you before, is to have a plan and a system to achieve that goal, which actually is where you take that goal and you turn it into actionable steps. So the actionable steps are the things that get you to the goal, right? That's the roadmap. That's the process of actually getting to the goal, all right? So, and believe it or not, it's really not that hard. So I'm going to share it with you today. I'm going to share with you a very simple framework on how you can turn a goal into actionable steps to achieve that goal. All right. So I think that's going to be valuable for you, not only here as a freight broker and earning 6 figures, but I don't care what your goal is. You can apply this framework to any of that. Right. So this is a framework that I've used for many years. And I know a lot of other successful people. I didn't originate this framework. I didn't originate this process. This is something that I've emulated and leveraged for well over, a couple of decades to see success in my own businesses. So here you go. All right. Let's say, for example, let me just say this. Okay, so here you go. First step. All you have to do is to find the one thing, the one key activity that's going to move you closer to your goal. It's something that you can do every day. So you need to find that one key activity that's a part of your goal that can move you closer to achieving that goal every day. As a freight broker or a freight agent, that one activity is sales, right? There's no denying it. There's lots of things that you do as a freight broker and a freight agent. You post trucks, you negotiate with drivers, you dispatch, you do rating, you do check calls, you do all these different activities. But sales is the one activity that is most likely to drive you to getting a 6-figure income. right? I don't think anybody can dispute that. That's the number one activity. So if that's the number one activity, first, you have to take time to learn that skill. You have to invest in that skill, right? So you have to learn this, because not everybody here watching this, not everybody that wants to make six figures understands how to sell. So that's step number one. Okay. You need to learn how to sell. You need to invest in that process and that skill. Number two, you need to find somebody that keeps you accountable, whether that be a friend or a mentor, someone like that. So number two is find somebody to keep you accountable. Number three is you need to schedule a time and a day and a place where you're going to do that activity every day. All right. So that's number three. Number four, you need to measure and track your activity. You need to measure and track your activity levels, the activities in and around that, the selling that you're doing every single day. You need to measure and track those. Very, very important. Okay. That's number four. Number five, you need to assess your results and make adjustments, necessary adjustments to optimize the process, right? To get better results. So you're going to make little adjustments. You're going to adjust the things you say, how you say them, your timing, the rebuttals, everything to do with sales. Okay. So that's number five. And number six, most importantly, probably as important as anything in there, is you need to learn to have fun during the process. If you're going to be doing this every day, and this is something that's paramount to your success in earning six figures as a freight broker or a freight agent, you need to learn to have fun with it. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop making it so boring. Stop making it so tedious. Stop making it so difficult, because it's not, right? Have fun with the process. Have fun during the journey, okay? So that's a 6-step process. Number one, learn the skill. Number two, find somebody to keep you accountable. Number three, schedule a time and place to do that activity daily. Number four, measure and track your activity. Number five, make necessary adjustments. And number six, have fun. Now, you can apply this framework to anything. Apply this to losing 20 pounds. I guarantee you this works. Apply this to, learning how to bow hunt. Okay. Because I'm a big bow hunter, and bow hunting season's coming up soon, right? Apply that to learning how to bow hunt or to get better at shooting your bow. It's same exact thing works. Apply it to learning, making a 6-figure income. I guarantee you it works. All right. So this framework will work for any goal. It just so happens today that you're here because you want to learn the key to making and earning 6 figures as a freight broker, freight agent. And that is the key. The key is to have a plan and to have a system and to turn your goals into actionable steps. And as a freight broker, the number one activity that's going to drive you towards that goal is sales, right? So that's the reason why I put together my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. Now, my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program, I just want to share with you for a minute here how this all ties together. That's where I take this piece of my brain, everything I've learned about sales as a freight broker or just selling to businesses in general, and I transplant it into your brain. Okay. So I put all my thoughts into an online course, and I'm now going to transplant that into a small group of people's brains. So, again, I'm going to give you my entire freight broker sales system, right? Everything from winning cold calling strategies to following up like a pro to easily overcoming shipper objections to closing without feeling like a slimy salesperson, and everything in between, okay? I'm going to share all that with you in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. So the good news is, and this is the big announcement, I'm launching the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator this week. I know you've been hearing about it for months, right? And you've been waiting patiently, and I thank you for the patience. But the course is finally done. We're putting the finishing touches on it, and this week is going to launch. I don't have a date yet, but if you want to be considered or you think you want to be a part of that Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, where I take that piece of my brain and I transplant it into your head to give you the skills and the tools and the system necessary to become successful as a freight broker, then you need to get on the wait list, because this is probably your last chance to get on the wait list. Now, if you want to get on the wait list, first of all, the only way you're going to get a chance to get enrolled in this is if you're on the wait list. You won't have a chance. It sold out in 24 hours last time. So I'm not going to have time to do a whole bunch of emailing back and forth and all this stuff, right? You're going to have to be on the wait list. If you want to get on the wait list for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. Okay. So it's freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. Let me pull it up here. All right. So if you want to get on the wait list, there is the link to get on the wait list. freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. Now, why that's important. All right. First of all, let me just explain a little bit more about the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Number one, it's not a free program. It's something where you're going to have to invest money. All right. I can't give you the exact price yet, but I can tell you that it's going to be worth at least 10x whatever you invest into it. All right. But we are not looking for tire kickers. We're not looking for people that are dreamers, right? We want you to have a dream, but need you to be able to take action towards that dream. And this system is only a part of that. Once you learn the system, you got to apply it. So we're only looking for people that are serious about really making 6 or 7 figures. Okay. So investing in it, learning the skills of selling. This is how I was able to do it, right? I invested in the skills necessary to learn how to sell. I watched and emulated top salespeople in my office. And then I took action. I put together a system that allowed me to become the top salesperson in that company. And since then, have went on to eventually do over $200 million in sales as a freight broker, done business with over 1,000 clients, 1,000 different shippers, including some of the largest brands you've ever heard of in the world, right? And that all came from investing and learning how to sell and creating a system. Since then, that system has evolved. And I've put that system in place and have been very fortunate. I've taught that system to a lot of people that have went on to build 6- and 7-figure businesses. And so the key is, again, having a goal is important, right? But it's only about 2% of the process. The other 98% of the process came from investing in learning the skill of sales that you need to be successful, and putting a plan and a system in place where you can take consistent action over an extended period of time. Okay. So now, one of my favorite quotes, right? An old mentor of mine, it came to me this morning when I was writing down notes, is doubt will take you out of action and action will take you out of doubt. So if that is the perfect way to wrap this up today. So if you are new and you're just interested in starting to learn how to become a freight broker or freight agent, what I want you to do is I want you to go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com. We've trained over 8,000 students in the last decade, and we have a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. That's for new people that are brand new, just looking to get started. Now, if you're already a broker, you're already an agent, or you've already went through the course, and you really need help getting clients, and you really need help with sales, I want you to get on the wait list, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. Again, the link, you've seen it before here. I've already put it on the video. For the wait list, you're just going to simply go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. That's the advanced sales training for freight brokers. That's my entire sales system. Again, if you're brand new, you're probably going to want to start with freightbrokerbootcamp.com, which is where the step-by-step process, I help you to get started, find your niche, become a broker, become an agent, rating, dispatching, all of the things necessary, setting up your office, getting everything done, those basic fundamentals to become a broker. That's Freight Broker Bootcamp. The more advanced program is Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. I know I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. I hope that framework that I gave you made perfect sense. You can apply that to anything in your life, any goal you have in your life. And I look forward to seeing you on the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator wait list. If you get on the wait list or you're already on the wait list, I want you to pay close attention, because I'm going to send out a text, right? When you get on the list, you're going to opt into the text. And when I send it out, you're going to have a very limited amount of time to take action. I promise you, it sold out in 24 hours last time. And I'm limiting this to 100 people, right? 100 people. I've got almost 1,000 people on the wait list, but don't get discouraged, because the first 100 to act are going to be the people that are going to get enrolled in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. So I'm super excited. You can tell that, I'm pretty pumped up. I've been working really hard on this course to make sure that I over deliver for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed the framework. That's the key to earning six figures as a freight broker, freight agent. So let me take a quick drink, and then we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to give away this shirt. And if you are interested in getting this shirt or winning this shirt, Freightpreneur, someone who solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand, all you need to do is like the stream. Maybe you joined a little bit late, like the stream, and then share it. Share it on Facebook, share it on any of your social channels, tag 3 of your friends in the comments below. Do something to let them know about this Freight Broker Bootcamp Live. Again, I didn't charge you admission. I didn't make you get a credit card out to come into this training. The price of admission is hitting the like button and then sharing the stream. And I'm also going to give one lucky winner is going to get this shirt. Okay, so you guys do that and then come back in the comments and type hashtag shared, and that'll let me know that you shared the stream. That'll let me know that you are qualified for the program. All right. So I'm going to grab a quick drink. You guys share the stream. Whoever wants to possibly get, who wants to get into this. How do I remove this banner? Here you go. Hide it. Okay. So whoever wants to be entered to win this shirt, the Freight Broker, the Freightpreneur shirt, just like the stream and then share, and I'll know that you want a chance to win. I'm going to grab a drink. And man, I think I had too much caffeine this morning. Wow, I'm flying right now. Who else starts out with caffeine in the morning? I'm not a coffee drinker, and that blows everybody away. I don't drink coffee. I hate the taste of coffee. My 15-year-old daughter drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee. My wife is a coffeeaholic. She loves coffee. My parents were coffee drinkers. I just never liked it. So I always drink stuff like this. Not a commercial, not a sponsor, not paid, but this is Bai, and it's a antioxidant drink. This is a blueberry version. It's low sugar and also has a lot of caffeine in it. So I'm buzzing right now. So, all right. So we got a bunch more people that are sharing. Okay. So you got about 30 more seconds to share the stream. And then I'm going to do the giveaway. And then after that, we're going to do a Q&A. So stick around if you have questions, but hold your questions until after the giveaway. Otherwise I won't see them in the stream. Okay. I won't see them in the comments because they're going to flow up. But whoever wants to chance to win this shirt, like the stream, share the stream, and then come back in and type hashtag shared. If you don't type hashtag shared in the comments, there's no way I can see it. Okay. There's no way I'm going to know. Right? All right. All right. Man, nobody wants the shirt today. I must be giving, maybe I'll stop giving these away. I think you guys are bored of these. Are you guys bored of the shirt? Oh, here we go. There's a few people. Are you guys bored of this shirt? You can be a freight broker. It doesn't matter whether you have great English. Have you ever heard of Yogi Goswami? He might be listening today. He sometimes tunes into the lives. He's from India. English is, his English is okay, but not perfect. And he went on and he's done millions of dollars as a freight broker, been very, very successful from India, still never been in the United States, right? Lives in India, lives overseas, does all his business in the US, never been here. And English is not his primary language. And it's, it's broken English, but it's more than good enough to communicate, and he does extremely well. So don't let that stop you. All right, guys. So here we're going to do now. Let's do it. Let me find the shared. Let me find the list. Okay, cool. Got it. All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Hold on one second. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, guys. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to scroll through the comments, and then I'm going to find one person, and that person is going to be the winner. Okay. So let me get the comments open. All right. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oops, that didn't work. Wrong person. Sorry about that. Now you know, at least know I'm scrolling through. All right, here we go. Winner is Millie Lee. Millie Lee is the winner of the Freightpreneur shirt. Millie, thank you for joining us live. Thank you for sharing this. Here's all you have to do in order to collect your prize and collect your shirt. Go to the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page. Make sure you follow the page, and then send me a message through the Facebook page with your full name, your address, and your size, as well as your cell phone number, okay? If you would. So name, address, size, and cell phone number. Now, you have to be in the United States in order to collect this. I'm sorry I didn't mention that up front. I apologize. I only do shipping to the US. Maybe in the future we'll open it up international, but it seems kind of crazy to pay some exorbitant amount for shipping for a $20 or $25 shirt, okay? So I don't ship them international. I only ship them US. So congratulations, Millie. Well done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody that played along. Thank you for everybody who joined me today live. Again, don't disappear because we are going to do live Q&A. So if you have questions, you can start typing them in the comments now. Please think about your question. Please articulate your question accurately and intelligently so that I don't skip over it. Because if I can't read it or I can't understand it, I'm going to skip over it. Okay? So think about your question. Don't just randomly throw something down. Make sure it's important. Make sure it's relevant. And make sure you communicate it properly, because if you can't, it's going to be very hard for me to pick you, and even more difficult for me to actually answer the question. So type your questions in the chat box, and we will dive into some Q&A. So I'm going to grab a drink while we do that. I'm not going to drink any more caffeine because, again, I'm buzzing like a bee right now. So I'm going to drink a little bit of water. All right. Again, congratulations, Millie, and thank you for everybody who played along. All right. So get your questions in the chat box. If you don't have questions, let me know who enjoyed the training today. Who did that framework that I gave you make sense to you? That 6-part framework, you know, that framework that I gave you about learning the skill, finding someone to keep you accountable, scheduling a time and place to do the activity, measuring and tracking your activity, making adjustments, and then making sure you have fun. Did it make sense to you guys? I know it seems very simplistic, but the best ideas are sometimes the simplest ideas. If you want to achieve a goal, whether that be earning 6 figures as a freight broker, freight agent, or you want to lose 50 pounds, or you want to, whatever the skill is that you want to learn, you want to be a public speaker, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever that skill is, gardening, I don't care what it is, right? You can apply this to any goal. This framework will work for literally any goal. Okay. So we just happen to apply it today to the goal of earning 6 figures, because most of the people here today want to earn 6 figures. And if they're already earning 6 figures, that means they want to earn 7 figures, which is very possible. All right. So let's see what we got. All right. So here's some questions. Finally. Thank you, Stacy. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you're finding value with the stream and that we're holding you accountable. Very important. Okay, so here's a question from Gina. Good morning. I want to start as a broker, but eventually get a truck to become a carrier. Do I need 2 LLCs? I know I need 2 authorities. All right, so by law, you don't need 2 LLCs or 2 corporations in order to have a brokerage and a carrier company. You can do it under 1 LLC. The problem you run into that I hear about all the time from carriers is that if you have your carrier MC and your broker MC under the same company, it can cause some complexity and issues with your carrier insurance. So a lot of brokers, a lot of carriers that want to become brokers will set up 2 different LLCs with very similars. It might be ABC Trucking and ABC Logistics and Trucking or something like that, right? And transport. So they're very similar. So the companies, the brands are the same, but they have 2 different LLCs, so it doesn't cause issues with their carrier insurance, right? That's part of the issue that I hear frequently from carriers that go out and get their broker authority. Sometimes it will cause issues with their insurance if they have their broker authority and their carrier authority under the same corporation, the same LLC. Hope that helps. Good question, Gina. Thank you. Okay, so Joanne asked, what items need to be in the shipper and the carrier packets other than the contract? Okay, so let's take the shipper packet. So the shipper packet, you can include the broker shipper agreement. You're going to want to include a copy or some sort of proof of your freight broker authority. You're going to want to provide some sort of proof of insurance if you have insurance, right? You're going to want to include your W-9, which is your tax ID number, because you're going to want to include that to them because they're going to be paying you. So you're going to want to include your W-9 so that they have all that correct information. You're going to want to also include with the shipper packet a credit app, maybe a one-page credit app that they can fill out and send back to you so you can run credit. So those are some of the primary things you're going to want to include in your shipper packet. And there's always things you can add to that, right? I mean, it's very subjective, but those are some of the core components. Secondly, as far as the shipper packet or the carrier packet goes, for the carrier packet, you're going to want to include your broker carrier agreement. You're going to want to include a copy of the same thing with your broker authority, right? Proof of your authority, proof of insurance. You're going to want to include maybe some sort of a credit reference sheet, something about your credit to give references and information about your credit, your DUNS number, your EIN number, things of that nature, so that they can pull credit on you. You're going to want to include, those are some of the really core things that you need for the shipper packet. You don't really need a lot for that. The most important part is your broker carrier agreement. And I also have on YouTube, just so you know, if you go to YouTube and you go to my channel, just search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. You'll see my channel. It'll have a picture of my big bald head, which you can't miss. And then you go on my channel and you search for carrier packet or shipper packet. I did an entire video on that. So you can go through that. And I actually take carrier packets and shipper packets and I break them down. I show them on the screen and I do a full breakdown. So you guys can check that out. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You're absolutely crazy. If you're watching this live and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are batshit crazy. Here's why. I have like over 100 free trainings on there. 100 free trainings. Okay. Things like mindset, things like sales and marketing. I have interviews from past students where they tell their story. I've got all kinds of videos on there, and they're all free. It's YouTube, right? So that's all above and beyond my course, right? Where I have tons of content and training and information in there. But this is above and beyond. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are crazy. It's probably one of the most valuable assets I've ever built in and around this business, okay? All right, so I hope that helps. Thank you, Joanne. Okay, so here's a question from Rain. Let's see, let me open this up a little bit. All right, so Rain says, hi, Dennis, after I complete the registration process with Fmcsa, what action should I take first? In other words, how should I start to find my first clients? Well, after you complete your registration, you're still going to have to get your BOC3, you're still going to have to get your freight broker bond, and you're still going to have to complete your UCR. You're going to provide proof of those three things after you complete your Fmcsa registration. And then once you have all that complete, they're going to get back to you and deem your authority active. Once you're active, now you can start brokering loads, right? So the first step after your authority gets active is you need to make sure you identify and find your niche. I have an entire video on my YouTube channel that talks about finding your niche, right? As a matter of fact, I have an entire video on my YouTube channel, which I think is I think it's called, let me see, pull it up here. 7 steps. Hold on a minute. Actually, let's see. Let me see what it is here. Hold on a second. Give me a minute and I'll try to tell you the steps. If you go to YouTube, if you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/freight brokers, or you just search for Freight Broker Bootcamp, you'll see it. But the video that you want to watch is for the step-by-step breakdown is, where is it? Jeez. I thought I just put that out, but I must have put it out a while ago here. Hold on. Sorry about this, but I do want to make sure I give you that resource. Oh, the video is the 7 steps to become a freight broker. So if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/freight brokers, or you go to YouTube and you search for Freight Broker Bootcamp, Dennis Brown, you'll find me. You'll find the channel. Go to those videos and look for the video titled How to Become a Freight Broker in 7 Easy Steps. Okay? So that'll walk you through the exact steps you got to take. Okay? So I hope that helps. All right, next question. Good question. Thank you. So here's a question from Jose. If I purchased the 1-year subscription to Freight Broker Bootcamp, but later want to upgrade to a lifetime access, do I still have to pay the full price for the lifetime access? No, here's what happens. If you pay for the 1-year membership, which is currently $185, right, for 1 year, one-time investment, when you log into the 1-year membership, you have the ability to upgrade for just the difference between the gold membership and the platinum membership. So the platinum membership is $389. The gold membership is $185. So that's a $204 upgrade. So when you go in, you'll pay the $204 to upgrade to the platinum membership. You won't pay the full price. Now, that is subject to change, but right now that's how it is. I understand that that's a little bit of a loophole where you guys can kind of cheat the system a little bit. But if you do it now and you upgrade to, or if you start as a gold member, you can always upgrade to the platinum member for just the difference. So it'll be $185. And then if you want to upgrade it, it'll be additional $204 for a total of $389. I hope that made sense. Good question though. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. 69 Ways. Okay, great. Are there any brokers within the bootcamp who don't mind bringing on agents? Yeah, as a part of becoming the freight broker in the a Freight Broker Bootcamp member, you also get access to our members only insider Facebook group. So this is members only, paid members only, have a special group. We have over 1,000 members in that right now. I just started it not long ago. And in that group, members will collaborate and network. And in many times I've heard of people that wanted to be agents connecting with other people that are already established brokers or new brokers, and then they work together in partnership. Now, I don't do that. I don't do job placement. I'm going to be very upfront with you. I don't do job placement, but I created this group as a resource for everybody to network and collaborate, share their wins, share their losses, inspire other people, help the group. And it's a phenomenal resource. The people that are members of Freight Broker Bootcamp will probably chime in the comments. It's one of the favorite parts of the course above and beyond, even beyond the training itself. So yeah, they absolutely love the group. And that's where you would connect with other people as a way to potentially become an agent. But I don't do job placement. I want to be very upfront about that. Thank you for the question. Okay, so here's a question. Would it be feasible to become a freight broker in Canada only to start? Unfortunately, this is with the COVID, my credit rating took a bad hit. Yeah, you can become a freight broker in just Canada. There's tons of manufacturing and freight in Canada. You guys are a big consumer. You have millions and millions of people. Now, you're not as big as the US, so you'll be a little more limited than just if you were brokering freight in the US. But yeah, there are freight brokers who specialize in just Canadian freight and don't do any business in the US. So absolutely you can. And if your credit rating is struggling and you want to get started and want to start moving freight in the US, don't hesitate to start as an agent. Not long ago, I had a couple of past students on here. I had Eloy Lozano, who's an agent, right? Who's done over $10 million in sales as an agent. And I also had Monica Gonzalez, who I think it was last year, did over $300,000 in commissions in her pocket as an agent, made over $300,000. She now has her dream. She lives on a ranch with horses and she's living, her best life. Trust me when I tell you. And so becoming an agent is a very viable way to start. Do not get discouraged about the idea of becoming an agent. I've had agents in my career since starting my freight brokerage back in 2003. I had agents that at times I paid over $100,000 in 1 month. Now that's not the norm. And I'm not trying to say that you're ever going to earn $100,000 in your life as a freight broker, let alone in a month, because I can't guarantee that. But here's what I know. If he can do it, you can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. And if Monica can do it, you can do it. Okay? So don't be discouraged if you have rough credit and you can't get started as a freight broker because you don't have the money or the credit. Start as an agent. You're absolutely crazy. Less risk, less expense. And the fact is, if you can't make money as a freight agent, you're not going to make money as a freight broker. Okay? So I hope that helps. Scrolling. Oh, I think my mouse is going dead. As a startup brokerage, do I need to hire a dispatcher now or can you wait? You can absolutely wait. Because right now, as a startup freight brokerage, you don't even have any shippers. You don't have any loads. So you can do both. You can do the sales and the dispatching because you don't have any freight. You don't have anything to do. Now, some people choose to hire a dispatcher. My suggestion is to start lean. Don't hire a dispatcher unless you have a lot of financial resources to invest in that business. But I would bootstrap it. When you start your freight brokerage or your freight agency, it should just be you. Very low expense, the least amount of expenses you can get by with. You need a couple load boards, you need some internet access, you need a phone, and that's pretty much it, right? Some training. But ultimately, I would start out as lean as you could. And then when you start making money, reinvest that profit back into the business. And that makes total sense to me. So no, you do not need a dispatcher when you first start. Desi asks, I currently got laid off. I'm 30 weeks pregnant. I have no consistent income coming in right now. This second, my question is, in my predicament, is it smart to just jump into the broker business from home? You know, Desi, that's a very subjective question. Okay. I'm not in your shoes. You know, you're 30 weeks pregnant. Obviously, you got to take that into consideration. You've got some financial constraints, right? That's another component you have to think about. I don't know that I'm qualified to answer that question for you, right? It depends on your circumstance, depend on where you are mentally. Of course, when you have the baby, you're going to have to take some time off. That could be a bit of a challenge. You know, my job isn't to tell you to become a freight broker, freight agent. My job is once you make that decision to help you go from point A to point Z. I can do that. I'm qualified to do that, but I don't think I'm qualified to jump into your shoes and try to answer that question for you. So I apologize if I'm not comfortable there, but you got a lot of variables there. Would I tell you you were foolish if you did? No, I wouldn't. Would I tell you you were foolish if you didn't? No, I wouldn't do that either because that's not my job. And I'm not walking in your shoes. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so here's a question from Amanda Rose. I'm having trouble quoting accurate rates. They're either too high and the shipper refuses, or they're too low, which makes it very difficult, if almost impossible to find a truck. Any advice on pricing lanes? Yes. Here's my best piece of advice. In the spot market right now, the best source of rates is to talk to carriers that want to run those lanes. So if you tendered, Amanda, if you were a shipper and you tendered me a load, or you wanted a rate right now from Buffalo to Atlanta for a van, okay, 53-foot van from Buffalo to Atlanta, the first thing I would do would be to go to the load boards, DAT and Truck Stop and wherever, and I would search the lane history for that lane, Atlanta or Buffalo to Atlanta van. And it would give me a list of all the carriers that have posted their trucks in those lanes over the last 30, 60, 90 days. And it's going to tell me how many times they posted their truck. So if somebody posted in the last 30 days, if they posted a truck every day for 30 days, you know they have trucks there regularly. If they posted their truck there once in the last 30 days, they're not there very regularly. So I'd call the people that had posted their trucks most often. I would call them because the company, the carrier name and the phone number is going to be right there. I would call them up and I'd say, hey, my name's Dennis with XYZ. You know, I have dedicated loads coming out of Buffalo to Atlanta, and I see you're posting your truck there quite often. You know, maybe we can work together. When's your next, are you planning on having a truck up here anytime soon? Yeah, I'm going to have a truck there tomorrow. Great. All right. So it's 900 miles. I don't know what the mileage is, but let's say it's 900 miles. All right. I'm paying, you know, you can then use some of the rating tools as a baseline, but you're going to always want to start a little bit lower. So if the rating tools tell you that you're going to have to pay a truck $1,200, right, to run that lane, then you're going to want to start a little bit lower and then work your way up because you're trying to find the market. You're trying to find the spot market. In most cases, whatever rate you say, the carrier is going to say, oh, no, I can't run it for that. I need X. And then you're going to take notes. So that carrier XYZ told you he needs $1,300. That's the best you can negotiate with them, right? You're going to negotiate, say, yeah, man, I don't know if I can do it for $1,300, but can you do it for 12? And then you settle on $1,250. Great. Now you've got XYZ carrier for $1,250. And then you call 3 or 4 or 5 more carriers and you find out the spot market rate. What is the rate from point A to point Z that a truck is going to charge you today? Now, that's not going to be a huge variable tomorrow or even this week, but that's going to change from month to month, right? Depending upon the fuel prices, depending upon, the economy, depending upon the season. There's a lot of variables in there. So the best way you can get rates is to find actual spot market truck rates, okay? Once you have an idea of that rates, if you get 5 rates and one's $1,200, one's $1,250, one's $1,300, one's $1,275, one's $1,225, you're probably going to have to pay somewhere between $1,200 and $1,300 to the truck in order to run that lane. Now you add your margin on top, okay? You add your $150, $200, $250, whatever you're adding on top of the carrier pay, and that is the all-in rate to the shipper. You give that rate to the shipper, that's their spot market rate. They can either take it or leave it. At that point, you have an accurate rate. The only thing you can do at that point is decide you want to make a little less profit or make a little more profit. That's up to you to adjust. When you first start with a shipper, my suggestion is keep your profit margins a little lower and then work them up over time, because once you get in the door, it's a lot easier to expand into other lanes and to increase those rates over time than it is to try to get them to do business with you at first if you offer a rate that's more than what they're currently paying, unless they're really having, they're struggling with that. Okay? So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense, Amanda. Queen, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't think you can use the same EIN for 2 different corporations or LLCs. If you have 2 different corporations, then I don't think you can do that. If it's under the same corporation, you can. But if you have 2 different ones, I don't think you can use the same EIN. I could be wrong. But I don't think you can. As far as DUNS number, no, the DUNS number is a unique number that identifies your individual company. So that would be a separate DUNS number. If you have XYZ Logistics and XYZ Trucking, 2 different LLCs or corporations, each is going to have a different DUNS number, and I'm pretty sure each is going to have a different EIN number. I'm not an accountant, and I've never had 2 different companies, carrier and a carrier company and a broker company, so I'm not really sure. All right, so I'm scrolling. Let me just find some questions here. Queen, what we need to do as far as getting started as an agent to the point of getting hired by a broker. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/blog. On the blog, there's a search bar. You can just search the word hired, HIRED. An entire article, an entire training, an entire video is going to go up where I teach you exactly how to get hired as a freight agent, even without experience and without a customer base. That will be the quickest and best way to get your question answered. Go to the blog. If you want to learn how to become a freight agent with no experience or customers, go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/blog. And then in the search bar, type hired, and the article and video are going to come up, how to get hired as a freight agent with no experience, and it'll walk you through step by step. Hope that helps. Okay, so Millie asked, Dennis, I have a carrier, but having issues on getting shippers or brokers wanting to co-brokerage. What should I do? Millie, It's called sales. I'm not trying to be cheeky or funny or rude, but it's called sales. You need to invest in learning how to sell, right? You're not going to, I don't care what business you have. I don't care if you start a real estate company or an insurance company or a freight brokerage or a digital marketing agency or consulting business or a restaurant or whatever it is. I promise you that nobody's going to come to your door, knock on your door, and beat your door down to do business with you. It doesn't work that way 99.9% of the time. It's called sales. You are going to have to sell. So you need to understand and invest in the skills of selling. Thus, why I've been pushing so hard for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. I should have put that program together a decade ago, but I didn't. My mistake. The results that people have had from the sales training that I've given have been phenomenal. You're going to hear about it when I release the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. I'm going to be releasing it this week. You need to invest in sales training specific to the freight broker, freight agency industry, to the logistics industry. I give you the entire skills. I give you the entire system. I give you the tools, but most importantly, I give you the confidence to go out and get shippers. And that's what you need. I can't give you some sort of hack in a 2-minute answer to the question. It's called sales. It's the most important and valuable skill you'll probably ever learn in your entire life. And I can teach you, but I can't do it in 5 minutes over live. So I apologize. But my suggestion is if you guys want to learn sales, get on the Freight Broker Bootcamp or Freight Broker Sales Accelerator waitlist. It's right there, guys. Get on the waitlist, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. Get on the waitlist. I'm releasing it this week. I'm only letting 100 people in the program. It sold out last time in 24 hours, and it will probably sell out this time in 24 hours. I've got about 1,000 people on the wait list, but you have an equal opportunity if you get on that wait list to be one of the first 100 enrolled, and then you're in the program and you get lifetime access to it. And I take that piece of my brain and I transplant it into your head, and then I coach and mentor you throughout the process for 5 weeks. Okay? So I can't make it much better than that. All right, I'll leave that up there for now. What else do we got? Couple more questions. Daniel, it's a good question, but it's a law that was made. It was a rule that was made years ago by the Fmcsa. They require an annual UCR registration. It's called Unified Carrier Registration. When I first started as a freight broker back in 2003, it wasn't required. Somewhere along the lines, maybe, I don't know when it was, maybe somewhere 10, 12, 13, somewhere in the range 10, 12, 13, somewhere in that range, they required brokers to file a UCR, and now all existing and new brokers have to file an annual UCR. It's very inexpensive, and it's, there's no real application for it. You're going to get approved with your UCR. As long as you have a freight brokerage or a carrier, you're going to get your UCR. Okay. But it's an annual registration. To me, it's almost like a tax, but it's a very inexpensive piece of doing business as a broker. So I hope that helps. Your answer is Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, because I include all those. I include how to do cold emailing, how to do cold outreach by phone, by email, by social media. That's all part of the program. Other than that, my suggestion would be you can go to Google, and you can, if you go to Google, you can search for B2B cold email templates or email strategies or email tips. And you'll probably find a bunch of tips on how to do B2B, which is business to business cold emailing, which is really what you would be doing. And you could probably learn something from that as well. I would recommend that. But we do cover that in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Raphael, if you don't have time to make or take calls during normal business hours, you're probably not going to survive as a freight broker, okay, or a freight agent. That's my suggestion. You need to figure out a way to make and take phone calls during normal business hours from, let's say, anytime between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m., because that's when the majority of freight happens, right? That's when the majority of loads are covered with carriers. That's when the majority of the communications takes place with shippers. So if you work nights and you have time during the day, great. If you work and you have time during the day, even if you work part-time, but if you have no time between 7 and 5 p.m. Your time to make and take calls, freight brokering is probably not the business for you until you are able to quit your job and go all in. So I hope that helps. Tony Parker asks, what kind of stuff should you put on your website? The same sort of stuff as you see on everybody else's website. You know, you're going to want contact information. You're going to want your logo. You're going to want some basic information about the services you offer. You're going to want the ability for them to submit a quote, probably, where they can submit a quote and you'll get an email. You're going to want to, those are some of the basics. As a matter of fact, if you are a part of the Freight Broker Bootcamp, my introductory course for new freight brokers and new freight agents, I include I think it's 3 or 5 website templates, WordPress templates for freight brokers and freight agency businesses, freight broker businesses, where the templates are already designed and all you have to do is customize them slightly and you can get your website up for under $100, right? And I walk through the entire process, how to do that. I even give you resources where you can go to get your domain and get hosted. And even if you need a contractor, somebody to help you set the website up, you can get that whole thing done for under $100 if you're a member of Freight Broker Bootcamp, right? So that's just an added bonus and benefit of being a member, okay? Hope that helps. And those are all pre-designed. You just do minor customizations to it, and it's super simple and super fast. What time is it? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so here we go, guys. That's going to be it for today. If you need help getting shippers, if you need help with freight broker sales, get on the wait list. This is going to be one of your last chance to get on the wait list before I do the release. The link is here, right? freightbrokerbootcamp.com/FB sales. This week, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be Wednesday, but it might be Wednesday. When I release this, you're going to get a message from me with a link where you can see all the details about the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, everything that's included, the price, how to enroll, all of that, okay? Again, it's not a free program. It's going to require an investment. It's not cheap, but it's going to be worth more than 10x what I charge for it, okay? So get on the wait list if you want to get that text notification with the link so that you can get all the details and then get enrolled and be one of the first 100 to get into that course. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like the framework. I hope that you're enjoying these weekly lives. I hope that you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I hope to meet you someday beyond this virtual world and maybe interview you as a future success story of one of my Freight Broker Bootcamp students. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon.